Have you ever felt that being by yourself is not really the issue, but feeling lonely over time is? There's a subtle difference between enjoying being alone and waking up each day feeling like the silence is getting heavier. Living alone after 70 can feel freeing, but without the right support, it can quietly lead to sadness, worry, and health problems. Many older people think they are doing fine, just staying to themselves. But in many homes, a quiet kind of sadness builds up, not because of weakness, but because certain things go unnoticed. Things that were not a problem in their 60s can slowly start to chip away at their peace in their 70s or 80s. In this video, we will go over 7 things that you should really watch for if you live alone after 70. These are not just suggestions. These are often missed details that decide whether these years feel like they're slowly fading or still full of life. If you have felt more tired, easily annoyed, or just oddly out of touch lately, it may not just be aging. Often it is your surroundings affecting your mood, energy, and even your health. Let's take a closer look. Because once you spot these early changes and make adjustments, you can feel a lot more joy, clarity, and strength again. You deserve more than just getting through the day. You deserve to feel alive and in control, even if you are on your own. Let's begin. Number 1, no daily routine. The first thing that slowly wears down your happiness when living alone is not having a daily routine. At first, it feels like freedom. You wake up when you want, eat when you feel like it, and do things on your own time. But soon that freedom turns into a kind of drift. Days blur together and you start feeling low on energy without knowing why. When there is no structure to your day, your brain starts losing track of time, drive, and purpose. The brain finds comfort in knowing what to expect. Something as simple as morning tea, a short walk before lunch, or reading in the afternoon might seem small, but these little habits keep you steady. When we lose this rhythm, we lose our push to do things. That is when people start saying things like, "I just don't feel like doing anything," or "I don't know where the day went." This is not laziness. It is feeling lost because of no structure. I knew a woman named Margaret, 74 years old, who had been living alone since her husband passed away. In the beginning, she stayed active, but after 6 months, I saw changes. She stopped going out, skipped meals, and started sleeping at odd times. When we talked, she said that without anyone around, she stopped keeping track of time completely. She was not sad at first, just floating through the days. But that floating turned into not caring, then into low moods and eventually health problems. What helped her was not a big solution. It was simply adding 3 steady habits to her day: a fixed time to wake up, a short walk mid-morning, and cooking dinner before sunset. That small routine brought back her energy and even helped her sleep better. You do not need a strict plan, but you do need something that tells your mind, "Yes, I am still engaged with life." It is never too late to create a pattern. Your mood, your memory, and even your physical balance will benefit from it. Number 2, neglecting food and water. A major risk of living alone after 70 is slowly paying less attention to what you eat and drink. Not from laziness, but simply because no one is there to notice. Meals start getting basic, then become repetitive, and sometimes skipped. The fridge stays nearly empty, you forget to drink water, and after a while, your body starts to weaken. Eating well after 70 is not about fancy health foods. It is about eating enough, eating on time, and choosing food that supports your muscles, mind, and immune system. But the challenge with living alone is that meals lose purpose. Cooking for yourself feels like a chore. There is no one to sit with at dinner. So people fall into habits like cereal at night, toast for lunch, coffee all day, and almost no water. The mind reacts to how the body feels. If you are lacking water or nutrients like protein or B vitamins, your mind gets slower, your memory gets fuzzy, and your energy drops without any clear reason. And here is the catch. It does not feel like you are hungry. It just feels like low energy, low mood, and no desire to do anything. This is how many over 70 end up undernourished without even realizing it. I remember a man named Frank, 81 years old. who always said he did not need help, but after a minor fall at home, his checkup showed big muscle loss and early signs of mental fatigue. The main reason? He was skipping meals and barely drinking water. When he began eating 3 basic meals a day and carried a water bottle with him, his balance got better. He even started telling jokes again. He did not need pills or treatments. He just needed real food. If you live alone, think about this. Would you want someone you love to eat the way you eat now? If the answer is no, then you already know what needs to change. Keep meals easy but meaningful. Something hot, something with color, something with protein. Leave a glass of water in each room if that helps you remember. This is not only about eating. This is about staying strong, clear-headed, and emotionally stable. Because your body is always paying attention. If you are still watching and finding this helpful, please comment number 2 below so I know you are here. And if you have not subscribed yet, I suggest you do, and turn on the bell so you do not miss future videos. Your support helps us keep making content that informs and supports you. Now let us keep going. Number 3, letting silence take control. One of the quiet dangers that can slowly creep into life after 70, especially when living on your own, is silence. Not the kind that brings peace, the kind that feels heavy, like a weight on your chest and follows you through the day. The kind where the phone does not ring, the television is just background noise, and even your own voice goes unused for long hours, sometimes days. You see, people are made for connection. Even the most self-sufficient among us still need to feel seen, heard, and noticed. But when you live alone, it becomes surprisingly easy to go entire days without a real talk. And the worst part, you start getting used to it. You stop making an effort. You tell yourself it is fine. But deep down, something important is being lost. There is a reason research says loneliness is as harmful as smoking or being overweight. It increases your chances of getting dementia, heart problems, and even early death. Why? Because your nervous system never fully calms when you feel alone. Your brain is built to expect connection. Without it, it stays slightly tense, and over time, that stress affects your body, your thinking, and your spirit. I once met a woman named Grace, 76 years old. She had lived alone since her husband passed. Her place was clean, her bills were paid, and she went for short walks. But when I asked, when was the last time you laughed with someone, she went silent. She could not remember. That moment stayed with me. Because you can be living your life, doing what you need to do, and still feel empty inside. That is why this is important. You do not need people around all the time, but you do need to hear your own voice. You do need someone to care how your day was. That is not a weakness. That is part of being human. So whether it is calling an old friend, joining a walking group, or chatting with a neighbor while getting the mail, do not let silence take over. Speak to someone daily. Even if it is small talk, even if it feels strange, that simple habit can mean the difference between a life that slowly fades and one that keeps growing. One hello at a time. Number 4, eating without a routine. When you live alone after 70, meals can stop being meaningful and turn into something you just get through. You are not cooking for family anymore. No one is asking, what's for dinner? No shared meals, just you, a fridge, and a quiet kitchen. And that is where it often starts. It is surprisingly common to fall into habits like skipping meals, snacking on crackers or canned soup, or relying on frozen meals that are high in salt and low in nutrients. You tell yourself it is easier, less cleanup, less hassle. But over time, this slow neglect starts to damage your health. Your body at this stage is not as forgiving as before. Every bite either helps or harms. If you miss protein, you lose strength. Without fiber, digestion slows down. Lacking vitamins, your immune system weakens. It does not happen all at once. But one day you notice you feel weaker. You get tired sooner and you are not sure why. I knew a man named Harold, 81, very proud of being independent. He used to say, "I do not need anything fancy. Toast and coffee are enough." But after he fainted at the drugstore, doctors found serious vitamin shortages and muscle loss. It was not due to illness. It was quiet neglect. Not on purpose, but still dangerous. Eating alone does not mean eating poorly. You do not have to become an expert cook, but you should be intentional. Make sure you are getting protein in every meal, even if it is just eggs, beans, or canned tuna. Add some fruits or vegetables every day, even if it is a banana or a handful of carrots, and stay hydrated. Many older adults walk around slightly dehydrated without even noticing it. Try cooking in larger portions and freezing leftovers to use later. Or use senior meal services that focus on good nutrition. Even better, invite someone over occasionally. Sharing a meal, even once a week, can bring back your appetite and lift your spirits. Eating properly is one of the kindest acts you can do for yourself. It is not about showing off. It is about honoring the body that has carried you this far and giving it what it needs to carry you forward. If you are still watching this and found this part useful, please write number 4 in the comments so I know you are here. And if you have not subscribed yet, I suggest you do and turn on the bell so you never miss future videos. Your support helps us keep making helpful and uplifting content. Now let's move to number 5, sleeping with the TV on. This is a quiet habit many older adults pick up when they start living alone, falling asleep while the television is still playing. It may start out simply. Maybe the house feels too quiet. Maybe silence feels uncomfortable, so you switch on something familiar, a talk show or an old movie, and leave it on as you fall asleep. But over time, this minor habit can do more harm than you expect. The flashing light from the screen, especially the fast-changing kind, disrupts your body's ability to reach deep, refreshing sleep. Your brain remains slightly alert, never fully relaxing. So even if you are asleep, your body is not restoring itself properly. You wake up groggy, still tired, without realizing it was the screen that made your sleep so light. There is also an emotional side. When the TV becomes your bedtime companion every night, it can become a way to avoid feeling alone. But this habit can quietly deepen isolation. Instead of learning to be calm with the quiet, or using the evening to read, reflect, or relax in healthier ways, you depend on the TV. And that stops emotional healing and true rest. Take Eleanor, age 74. After her husband passed, she started sleeping with the TV on. It helped her feel less lonely until it started harming her sleep. She began to forget things, lost her energy during the day, and felt emotionally flat. Her daughter suggested she try sleeping without the TV for just 1 week. Eleanor hesitated but finally agreed. With the help of a quiet fan and a weighted blanket, her sleep got much better. She said she had not felt that rested in years. There are easy ways to make bedtime more calming. Try soft instrumental music or peaceful nature sounds. Audiobooks with a timer can also help you fall asleep without harsh lights or noise. A calm nightly routine, gentle stretching, a cup of chamomile tea, dimmed lighting, tells your body it is time to relax and unwind. Sleep is not just time off. It is when your body heals, your mind resets, and your emotions settle. Guard it as something precious. Because after 70, good sleep is not just a comfort, it is essential to your health. Number 6, having no weekly routine. Many assume that retirement brings freedom from strict schedules. But the reality is, having no routine at all can slowly wear you down. After 70, when your calendar is mostly open and you no longer have daily pushes like work or raising kids, time can begin to feel hollow. At first, the open days feel nice, but slowly they turn into a blur. One day blends into the next. You wake up unsure what day it is, and worse, you do not really mind. This drifting is not just emotional, it affects your mind and body too. Without some rhythm, your body loses its balance. You eat at odd times, you miss physical activity, you oversleep or nap too much. And mentally, your thinking begins to slow. Studies show that older adults who follow daily routines often have stronger memories, higher energy, and better immune function. But this is not about filling every hour. It is about setting up small, steady markers in your day that help you stay connected. A short walk after breakfast, reading before lunch, a weekly call with a friend, watering your plants each morning. Routines do not need to be strict. They just give your day some structure. That shape keeps your brain active, your body engaged, and your mood steady. Look at Joseph, 82. After retiring and losing his wife in the same year, he spent months feeling lost. He stopped shaving, stopped cooking, spent entire days in his robe watching TV. His doctor finally said, "You are not ill, you are just bored." So Joseph made one small change. He wrote down 5 things to do each day. Make the bed, walk once around the block, cook a meal, call one person, read for 15 minutes. Within 3 weeks, things began to turn around. He felt more alert, lighter, and more like himself again. Routine is not about being strict. It is about showing care for yourself. A life without shape can begin to feel unimportant. But when your day has meaning, even in small ways, you wake up with something to look forward to. If you are still with us and you found this helpful, please type number 6 in the comments to let me know you are watching. And if you have not subscribed yet, consider clicking subscribe and turning on the bell icon so you never miss new videos. Your support helps us keep sharing useful and encouraging content. Now let us move on. Number 7. Letting pride keep you from asking for help. Living alone in your 70s can bring a strong feeling of independence. But sometimes that independence becomes quiet struggle. Many people from older generations were raised to believe asking for help meant weakness. You handled your problems on your own. You kept things to yourself. Even now, when something does not feel right, or when you begin to feel lonely, you might choose to stay quiet. You may think, "I do not want to trouble anyone," or "I should be strong enough to handle this." But that kind of thinking can slowly separate you from others. And with time, it does not only keep people away, it traps you in your own mind. You stop reaching out. You keep your worries from your children. You skip doctor visits because you fear sounding overly concerned. You avoid asking your neighbors for small help because it feels uncomfortable. But here is the truth. It is not true strength if it causes you to suffer alone. There is real wisdom in knowing when to speak up. There is bravery in picking up the phone and saying, "I could use some help." Whether it is asking someone to join you for a walk to the store, telling your daughter you have been feeling low, or letting a neighbor know your front step feels unsafe, these small moments of honesty can actually bring people closer. Being open helps build trust, and people are more willing to help than you may expect. Take Mary, 74. One night she slipped in the bathroom. She said nothing. She did not want to worry her children. But the bruise turned into a limp, and the limp became a risk for another fall. Eventually, her daughter found out. She gently told her, "Mum, letting us help does not make you a burden. It makes us a family." That one line changed things. Now Mary checks in twice a week. She is closer than ever with her grandkids. Her pride did not go away. Her circle of care simply grew. As we grow older, our need for support increases. Not because we are weak, but because being part of a caring community, being honest and sharing care are all part of being human. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is say, "I cannot manage this part alone." Final thoughts. Living alone after 70 does not mean your world gets smaller. It can actually become fuller, more peaceful, and deeply rewarding if you focus on what really matters. You do not need to stay busy constantly or act like everything is fine. What helps is being mindful, having a little structure, a bit of courage, and above all, building real connection with yourself and others. Which of these 7 points stood out to you? Was it the one about skipping meals? Or maybe you related to the story about staying silent due to pride? Whatever it was, remember, you are not the only one. Many others your age are walking this same road, and every small effort you make to care for your well-being means more than you think. You deserve to live with calm, with joy, and without looking back in regret. But that kind of life does not come by luck. It comes by noticing the quiet habits that take your peace and choosing different actions based on care, not on routine. Living alone does not have to mean being lonely. It can mean freedom, clear thinking, and a deeper connection with life itself. So let us not only age, let us grow wiser as we do. Thank you for spending time with us today. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment and share one thing you learned today and how you want to apply it. Your thoughts matter to us, so please do not hold back. Reading your messages gives us great encouragement. If this video was helpful to you, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful videos to guide and uplift you. Thank you again for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.